I'm Netta, and you're watching a crash course video to help us not fail APU's history test.
No. I was supposed to do the intro. Also, you're not Miss Vico or Mr. Ursafo, so it's just Unit 2 where we only talk about the colonies. Continue.
It technically all started in 1607 when Englishmen were enticed by the deep water starting in an area which provided a place to tie their ships on the shoreline. Good parking, something you won't be able to find in Fairlawn High School. The king had provided the settlement of Jamestown patents allowing for the execution of councils given the ability to govern, and this later became known as the First Representative Assembly in 1618. However, a long time before they achieved any success, the settlement of Jamestown went through a rough patch. Just like my grades, except my rough patch never ended. With the threat of ongoing mixed relations with the poets and tribe, our great people of America decided to build a fort. However, happened to travel back to Britain to gather more supplies. However, while he was gone, the settlers had to deal with outbreaks of dysentery and malaria due to the swampy river, James River. What a great location. As well as unmotivated people refusing to hunt, farm, rather seek for gold. This kind of reminds me of us, teenagers, always looking for money, needing money, never having enough. However, John Rolfe, hero, stepped up, introducing a new strain of tobacco, becoming the cash crop of the Virginia Company. He then married Pocahontas, except not this Pocahontas, this is Disney Pocahontas, but actual real-life Pocahontas, who then established peace between the colony and native tribe. Now, in 1676, mercantilism practiced by the English sparked a rebellion with Nathaniel Bacon and Western farmers in resentment to the economic and political control exercised by the few large planters. They succeeded in defeating the governor's forces, burning down Jamestown, as well as conducting a series of raids and massacres against American Indian villages. That's not going to be on the APUSH test. World War I, not going to be on the test. Massachusetts! Okay. Plymouth and Massachusetts Bay Colony was settled by a group of about 1,000 Puritan refugees from England, and under Governor John Winthrop, who was given a charter empowering the company to trade and colonize in New England. Similar to Jamestown, with the crown being able to govern and rights of ownership. Religion proved to be a rather authoritative key, as people such as Anne Hutchinson and Roger Williams were banished for having a different set of belief views. Hashtag, you can't sit with us. Am I right? They later went on to found Rhode Island and Providence, which recognized the rights of American Indians, as well as allowed the free worship of Catholics, Quakers, and Jews. Met with rough seas and storms, the Mayflower was steered away from its initial destination, and therefore the passengers were no longer able, under the jurisdiction of the charter granted to them, the Mayflower Compact was created. The compact established the fundamental principles of self-government and common consent. Okay, so I forgot what year we are in now, but in like 1632 or something, Maryland separated from Virginia, and George Calvert was given proprietary rights of the land, which was settled by a refined group of Protestants and Catholics. However, Protestants triumphed in resentment against the Catholic proprietor, and to protect all Christians, they went to war. Well, like, I don't know the name of the war, and neither does Amsco, so no one really cares. Fun fact, guys, you want to get a girl's attention? Name a freaking colony after her, which is what Charles I did when he named Maryland in honor of his queen consort, Henrietta Maria.
Netta, get out of my chair. No one wants to listen to you anymore. Get out, get out, get out, get out, get out. Hi, and welcome to a better crash course with me, Gigi. So, let's talk about something more interesting. How about the evolution of man? The exploration of the universe? The Mongols? No. What about the formation of Pennsylvania, Connecticut, and Delaware? Because that's interesting. Okay, so the land of Pennsylvania was settled by the Quakers, a religious group who believed in equality of gender and nonviolence, and that religion was found in a person's soul and not through paying the church. Doesn't sound too bad now, does it? But the Puritans, another religious group, believed that anyone who wasn't of Anglican faith were heretics. Now they started prosecuting and jailing them for their beliefs. Then, in 1680, William, a new follower of the Quaker religion, was given this land as a gift from his father. Now William sets up the Holy Experiment, in where his land is to be a safe haven for all persecuted people who sailed across the lands into America. He installed the frame of government in 1682, which guaranteed a representative government and a constitution, the Charter of Liberties, which secured the right to worship for all immigrants. Hey, my man! So isn't mercantilism bad because it controls everyone and not everyone should be controlled because of democracy? Pass, how I hate you. No, mercantilism is actually more complicated than being just good or just bad. Mercantilism is where a government regulates trade of its colonies for one purpose only, to benefit the parent country, which is Britain, not her colonies. From Britain's point of view, a country who is not democratic, having colonies ship raw goods kept them from gaining industry and becoming self-sufficient. Also establishes that Britain is the one in power, and increases manufacture and wealth which can support their military and navy. It fulfilled its mission of being the parent country. You have to understand that the idea of freedom was just a dream, and it would take years of hardships, radical thoughts and actions, and the buildup of tension between the colonies and Britain to accomplish that. Orientalism was enforced through the Acts of Trade and Navigation between 1650 and 1673. There were 3 rules. 3. Trade can only be between Britain and her colonies. All goods being imported into the colonies must pass through the ports of Britain. And the 3rd one is goods such as tobacco can only be imported into Britain, not to any other countries. The Act of Shipbuilding had prospered, causing Chesapeake Bay with a tobacco monopoly in England. It limited the colony's development, forcing farmers to accept lower prices for their goods and pay high prices for imports. A positive for Britain, but a negative for the colonies. However, the negatives were countered by smuggling goods in from other countries, like the French or the Dutch. Colonists deeply resented being controlled by a government across the sea. I mean, we deeply resent being controlled by our parents, don't we? No, I do. Anyways, so, now that we've covered that, let's discuss the Mongols.
Gigi, no one's here about the Mongols. Get out.
Go. Everyone's here about them.
No one cares about the Mongols except you. Go. Good. Take your apples. Hi. You know, the best out of the 3 of us is here. Hi, people. I'm Cameron. The last 3 colonies that I want to talk about are the last 3 we founded. The first contains a place, one of my favorite places, called the Big Apple. Now, New York, as grand as it is and as busy as it is, had to start somewhere. So, at the time of its founding, King Charles III granted his brother, the Duke of York, also known as James II. When James gains this land, he changes its name from New Amsterdam, named by the Dutch, to New York. Now, what he does is pretty nice of him. He lets the Dutch do whatever they want. They were given full freedom, but what he doesn't do that's very cool is he orders a lot of taxes, duties, and rents without permission from any representative assembly. So this causes all the settlers in the area to be really, really angry. And I mean, how could they not be? Now they have to pay all of this extra money because some rich British guy decided that he wanted more. How rude. So James decides that a representative assembly was completely unnecessary and that he wanted control only for himself and the colony's governor. This made the Puritan settlers even more upset, which caused them to rebel. So to ease the tension between himself and the governor and the inhabitants of his land, he allows the governor to grant a representative assembly and broad civil and political rights. In doing so, he calms everyone down and he kind of fixed a lot of the issues that were going on, but only for so long. The next colony is my absolute favorite and should be all of our absolute favorites. New Jersey, our home state, the coolest, I know. James decides that New York was way too big for him to rule over, so he split it into 2 pieces, thus creating New Jersey. He no longer wanted it, so its new owners became Lord John Berkeley and Sir George Carteret. Our proprietors wanted to attract a lot of settlers, and I mean, who wouldn't? You wanted the best colony. They wanted to make it seem really, really popular. So what they did was they decided to make a lot of generous land offers. They allowed religious freedom, and they allowed for a representative assembly, which a lot of colonists wanted to have. Being that Britain wanted to protect South Carolina plantations from the threat of Spanish Florida, which is fair. I mean, who wouldn't want their favorite colonists to be killed by their mortal enemies? Am I right? The second reason being that they wanted to relieve the overcrowded jails in England, since there were so many people that owed a lot of money, and they were in places called debtors' prisons. But my question is, why did Britain have to pull up President Snow and put people that they thought were kind of irrelevant around the people that they thought were? Just in case. Say it once again. How rude. No.
Ding!
Oh, is it time for the mystery document? Why don't we head over there?
Okay, so this is how it works. I'm given a document and I have to guess the author. If I get the author right, I don't get shoved into the freezing cold pool fully clothed. If I don't, I do get shoved in. So let's read it.
First, it is unanimously agreed on and resolved this 18th day of May, 1769, that the subscribers, as well as their own example, as all other legal ways and means in their power, will promote and encourage industry and frugality, and discourage all manner of luxury and extravagance.
Based on the document, it sounds like it's some form of representative assembly, a first constitution of some sort, so I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that it's the founders of Plymouth writing the Mayflower Compact. Wrong!
That's for the Mongols.
Okay, get out. No one's gonna pass listening to you.
No.
Bye, get out. Thank you. Take your apples. Great. Hi again. Okay, the most exciting, most important day of our lives. Finally being able to break up with our clingy parents, move out, and go to college. Hopefully. Although, some of us have no hope. We owe thanks to the Puritans, who emphasized the necessity for the rich white males of the 1640s to attend primary schooling. However, can you believe that then often teachers lived with their students and never be able to get out of doing homework again? Colleges first started out being primarily focused on the promotion of the doctrines of a religious group, such as Harvard, William and Mary, as well as Yale. Later on, the Awakening inspired Princeton, Columbia, Brown, Rutgers, and Dartmouth. Paired with epidemics of smallpox treated with ineffective grandma remedies, formal medical training was established, and the most popular job that the only reason you go to school for to become is the physician at Mom, Dad. the whole Russian family.
No, what are you saying? Get out. Family is so important. I choose spending time with them than spending time with my friends at the mall any day. These people tended to marry younger and have more kids than those in Europe. They also had a higher standard of living than those in Europe, probably because they didn't have deep-fried butter. Landowning was primarily reserved to men. They dominated politics, and those who had families had almost unlimited rights in the home, life, or 8 children. Wait, what? Okay, I can barely pass an APUSH test, and here they were having 8 kids. They were limited to household work, including cooking, cleaning, making clothes, providing medical care, and educating the children, because I also want to talk about the economy. The British government limited colonial manufacturing and restricted lots of areas that would compete with English industries. In New England, colonists didn't produce an excess amount of crops due to long winters and rocky soil, which allowed them to produce just enough for the families living there. Most farms were small. Yeah, 100 acres is so incredibly tiny. Most of the farm work was done by families and occasionally the hired help. They made most of their money from logging, shipbuilding, fishing, trading, and rum distilling. The middle colonies, unlike New England, had rich soil and produced an abundance of wheat and corn for export to Europe and the West Indies. Their farms were average, which means only 200 acres. The families, including indentured servants and hired laborers, worked on the farms. Besides the crops, the middle colonies made money from iron making, which led to the growth of cities like Philly and New York. The southern colonies were best known for their plantations, meaning they were over 2,000 acres. The people who lived on these farms relied heavily on slave labor. The farms were self-sufficient, meaning they grew their own food and had their own slave. However, many colonies used paper money, which often led to
Okay,
inflation.
stop worrying them more about the economy, Cameron.
No one wants to listen to the economy when we can talk about the Mongols.
It's just that no one cares about the Mongols.
I care about them.
At least I wasn't pushed into a pool.
Well, at least I didn't pick an impossible mystery document.
Okay, so time is running out. Thank you so much for watching our video, and don't forget to study other papers as well.
Bye.